I'm George Lakoff. I teach at the University of California at Berkeley, where I've been for 38 years. Well, you have to understand who the Tea Partiers are, why they're there, and how they developed. The idea of conservative populism began in the late 60s, around 67, in the Nixon campaign with Lee Atwater, Roger Ailes, and so on. And they had a problem in 1967. The problem was that in 64, Goldwater lost by a huge amount. He got his 37% of the vote, and Johnson got 63%. And at that point, everybody wanted to be a liberal, especially working people who had good union jobs. By 67, what had happened, several things had changed. The Lee Atwater and Ailes tried to figure out how to get working people to vote for Nixon. And they noticed that there were three wedges that they could use. First, a lot of working people had been in the military and were against the anti-war movement, were upset by it, and saw the anti-war movement as socialist and communist, right? Then there were a lot of working men who were very upset by by radical feminism. And so Nixon not only ran on anti-communism, he ran on traditional family values. Then there were a lot of working white people who were upset by the civil rights legislation and were worried that African Americans would take their jobs. And so after the riots in 66 and 67, Nixon ran on law and order. So putting that together, they invented conservative populism, but they also needed to put down liberalism. And the way they did that was to invent the idea of the liberal elite. Didn't exist before, right? So they invented the tax and spend liberals, the limousine liberals, the Hollywood liberals, and so on, which has now become the latte liberals, and they're still there. And that movement has been organized, purposely organized, has put together by a lot of right-wing money to form the Tea Party. The Tea Partiers came out of conservative populism. And if you read the New York Times CBS survey of the Tea Partiers, it's a very interesting survey. They're mainly white people, mostly men, over 45, who aren't that badly off. It's not like they're poor. It's that they are conservatives. They are radical conservatives now. And what's happened over the years is that beginning group of conservative populists sort of expanded and got older,